Uh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
As welcome, listeners. This is your host, Elliot Barr. Welcome to River City 93. I have my good friend here, Matt Bolduc, who, like this brewery that we're in, Final Gravity Brewery, you were also an institution in Richmond. Let's go down the plethora of the list. You, 5+ years with the Kickers, 100 caps. You've been here through the downs of the downs, and the highs of the highs.
Yeah.
So how, at this moment right now, obviously, the news came out that you're not coming back with the Kickers, but we felt like we wanted to do this podcast with you because not only have you been a big institute in the Kickers, but you've also been a big part of our podcast and been very positive with us and very open and forthcoming. So we felt like we had to do this interview with you because we want to know what's happening with you. What's the next step in your career?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you guys, as I do like all Richmond Kickers fans. You know what I mean? You guys are amazing. The interest and the passion that you guys have for the club is something that makes me love the club more. You don't get that at every team, especially in League One. You got some teams, I'm not going to name drop, but you got some teams that don't have real fans. You know what I mean? And I think just looking at the picture, especially of like the game, the Greenville game, the celebration after that when we won the league, just seeing like how much it meant to people who don't play. Because like obviously it matters to us.
Yeah.
But as my career's gone on, I've realized I play for you guys. You know what I mean? I play for the people who watch. Like, obviously, I love to do it, but I want to play and make you guys happy. That's what's amazing about the sport.
So what I asked you about that part, that part about playing for us.
Yeah.
Like, is that what gets you? Is that like that adrenaline factor for you? Like, is that what gets you going?
Yeah, I mean, it's different, especially playing home and away. Like, when we do play at home at City Stadium, that is something that I think motivates every one of the boys in the locker room. 100%, and the coaching staff. It's like we have to show up. You know what I mean? And a couple of years back when we were struggling to find goals and stuff like that, it was like a main point of emphasis to like at least play some good footy at home at City Stadium, so you guys aren't getting drunk talking to each other, not watching the game.
Right.
But yeah, I think obviously I've said this a million times, but the Kickers fans are amazing, and for me, like the highs and the lows you guys have been through. And it's cool with that.
So let's go back before you even signed with the Kickers. Let's get how did you first fall in love with the game? How did you end up becoming a part of the Kickers? How does that progression look for Matt?
I think I initially started liking soccer because my best friend played it when we were younger. But it's just something I loved, and my dad helped me get more touches, help my technique and stuff like that. But
now, was Dad a soccer player or anything like that? Or
no.
Was he like the old typical dad, like, I don't know the sport, you gonna learn it today?
He didn't really know soccer, but my uncle played soccer at Brown. So my uncle's a lot younger than my dad. So like he kind of knew about it. It was just when soccer was like growing in America. I mean, my dad did everything he possibly could, and obviously I live in New Hampshire, so I'm really far away from a lot of big towns and cities. So to play youth club soccer at the highest level, I had to drive like an hour and a half there and back, 3 times a week. So it was a big sacrifice for my parents. And luckily I repaid it to them, not in a $1 million house or cars or anything, but they at least get to watch me play on TV, and I think that's something that obviously they're proud of.
I think that's something like all our parents pretty much want, but they want to see like the hard work they put into us. We did show that gratitude and like, thank you for allowing me to do this. This is without you, I'm not here.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
So, you started off growing up in New Hampshire when college soccer. You played college soccer, right?
Yeah, for a year at UMass Amherst.
Okay, how was that for you?
It was good. It was not the jump I wanted, and I think it was down to like the way we played. Sam Coke was my head coach. Rest in peace. He was like a father figure for us, but it was just his style of play wasn't for me. It was long ball, second balls, and stuff like that, and which is fine. Everyone has their own style. Yeah. But for me, college soccer wasn't quite what I wanted, so I left. after my freshman year and try to just pursue this dream of playing pro and making a living, enough to pay rent, get groceries, and play soccer. That's the dream, honestly. So
make it work. I mean, that's how it really starts for a lot of people in America. Unless you get like that big MLS, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
This is not to the point where it is now, because I think a lot of people still think about how it's a little bit more organized now. That's where we want to be. But in the earlier days, it was kind of like the Wild West.
Yeah, it was all over the place. I remember when I was trying to get in the USL Championship, it was just like, you didn't really know like what's the pay grade, where do the people live, what's the travel like. It's all just all over the place. Some clubs might be nice, some clubs might not be. So at least now, especially after the CBA and the championship, and then this year's past CBA and League One, and obviously MLS a few years back, like now it's kind of more sophisticated and just a little bit more organized for players, which is good.
So let's kind of fast forward to Richmond. You tried for the Richmond Kickers. How was that whole experience for you? What was it like? What was your first couple of years here like?
So I came down having known AJ Kulo, former goalkeeper coach, former player. What are we doing here? Okay. AJ Kulo got me in touch with Lee Collishaw, and kind of invited me into preseason. 2017, I think that was, and yeah, it was a struggle at first. Honestly, I felt like I'd already played 1 year at Harrisburg, and it felt like I was just a rookie again. It felt like I did the rookie season twice. Yeah. But I think that like hardened me a bit and was like, hey, even though you played 1 year pro, it doesn't make you a pro. Like you still have to earn it every year, and I think that's something that has definitely helped me throughout every season. With the challenges and obstacles every year, I think just staying professional and staying in love with the game and knowing that every day counts is something that's important. But yeah, my first 3 years in Richmond, it was awesome because I felt like I'd found a place that I could actually reach my level. And I think it culminated in 2019. I think I was really good in 2019. And yeah, the first few years were awesome. I think under Collishaw, we played a certain style, and then David Bulow, rest in peace to him as well. I love David Bulow, and now Darren's in, and we won the league. So I think we went from all the way down here to up here, and just a few more steps for the club. And then,
definitely you get to walk away the club on a high. That's the way how you wanted it to end, but definitely on a high. I want to ask you this question. You played underneath 3 coaches in Richmond Kickers. You saw this team transition from a USL Championship club to a USL League One club. From each of those 3 head coaches, what is something you're going to take with you moving forward into the next step of your career?
I think from Lee, honestly, it's that every day matters. You can show up with a smile on your face, but once you cross that white line, obviously you want to play with passion and play like you enjoy the game, but every day matters. Everything you do matters. Your first touch in every drill, your warm-up, your finishing at the end of practice, everything matters. For Bulow, I think it was definitely, he gave me confidence, and I think that's something that every player in every sport or everybody everywhere struggles with, self-confidence. And I think David Bulow really gave me that, and I think that's something that I need to hold true to, is just play with confidence. And then Darren, there's so many lessons from Darren. Darren's he's like a fountain of wisdom. I think from Darren, I think the number one thing I'm going to take from Darren is to hate losing. So yeah, we love winning, but you have to hate losing. Like, losing is unacceptable. Winning is the goal, but losing is unacceptable. Even in practice. And I think that's always been a huge point of inspiration from him.
Yeah. We definitely saw that a lot. I remember, it was the game against Greenville, man, and you were on the right side, busting down the ring, and you bulldozed Tyler Polo. And I remember afterwards we were talking about it, and I was just like, that's the Matt Bolduc we all know.
I know. And I wish I had more. I wish I had more. But yeah, good memories, man.
Yeah.
I'm still capable of that, 100%. I just think players go through phases. 28, I think I still have a couple of good years.
Going through phases and whatnot, has your style of play changed? Do you see yourself? How different are you from the player who first came in with Harrisburg to now having 100+ caps in USL?
I think I've gone through a lot of transition. I think I've gone through a lot of transition. Honestly, when I first came in, I was just kind of just speed, straight line, very vertical, very raw. And over the years, then Bulo, I kind of transitioned. Well, first I transitioned from right wing or left wing to right back, outside back. I played a lot under Bulo.
Remember that?
So that was a different feel. You know what I mean? It's a totally different game. And then I also moved into the midfield for Bulo. I played in the midfield under Darren, and then I transitioned back out wide to Darren as well. And obviously, just from experience, you learn a lot about the game. But I think I've changed a bit. I think I'm not so vertical, and I'm a little bit more methodical about my play. And obviously, I think I've added a lot of defensive capabilities and work rate to my game as well.
Yeah. I would say that. Like, I always felt like your best position was in the midfield, like just the way how you dictate play, but also like how you interpret space.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm very good in the midfield. I think if I change my mentality a bit, I could get back to that speedster down the right wing or left wing. But I think in the midfield is really where I enjoy my football the most. Being able to get on the half turn and drive through, break lines, and also I feel like I'm good tracking back in midfield as well. And I really enjoyed, 2019 and a little bit of 2020, and actually last year, 2021, just playing in the midfield. I think, I think I fit there well, but also like, I think specifically in a midfield three. You know what I mean? In a midfield two, I don't think I'm at that role, but in a midfield three, if we have like kind of a 2-3-8s or like 10s, and we have a guy who sits, I think that's really good for me.
Okay. So we'll transition a little bit from the soccer talk. A lot of fans, obviously, you're a fan for you.
Yeah.
Your love for what you did, not only because this year you're like you didn't show on the field. We know some of that was through injury and not being in the 18th on game day, but you still showed up to games. You were showing up in Section O. So a lot of fans want to ask you, man, like first and foremost, what about Section O makes you love them so much that you was like, you know what, I want to be over there with them guys.
Because I'm a fan too, you know what I mean? I love the Richmond Kickers, so like I want to be around my people, and you're my people.
Yeah.
Like I think just being there and honestly being with you guys, which is why you guys do this, obviously, you kind of do feel like you have an impact on the game. You know what I mean? You do feel like you can raise the level and the energy level of the team if you're loud enough. You stay consistent. It keeps the boys motivated. It keeps them focused and locked in. Like I'll tell you what, there's not a single player on that pitch at the end of that Chattanooga game when we were about it. We were trying to get that noise up there, and there's no way nobody on that pitch was thinking, all right, we need to get the ball as close to goal as possible, get the noise, scramble something up, and because you guys are just kind of like the oven, and just like bubbles the water up and gets us going, and I have to be around it.
So what is your favorite Richmond Kickers chant?
You got me on the spot. I think I'm Richmond till I die.
Okay.
I think just because it's a classic,
and
I feel like I am, and I feel like I don't know. I just love that. I just love that chant. I just love it.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
It is a solid one.
Yeah.
Favorite memory?
Wow. Winning the league in Madison, plus kind of the celebration after Greenville.
That was pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. I can't it's got to be number one.
Did you see the Facebook Live of Luke? Luke almost, I think he was in Gordon's Facebook Live, and there's an image of Luke walking there like butt naked.
Yeah,
and we were like, that's Luke.
Yeah, it's not rare in the locker room. It's a different world in there. Like
I believe
free.
It.
It's free.
I believe it.
No judgment, but no, that. It would have been awesome because I remember Cincinnati won the league at City Stadium in 2018 or 17, I think, when they were like just about to go to the MLS, and they popped champagne bottles in our away room, and here's the name drop, Ray Smetanic. Obviously, we all know Ray, club legend as well, in the front office, but he said the away locker room smelled like champagne for like months. So it would have been cool if we could at least do that in Madison. You know what I mean? Just like, plant our flag, but whatever.
I mean, that's great. So, moving on to this question, what's your favorite opponents?
Well, I was going to say one of my other favorite memories is beating Charleston at home. Udai Mura bagged a free kick. I think Alex Lee downed a beer with 4 minutes of stoppage to go after we scored the third one. I love beating Charleston just because of like what it meant.
Yeah.
But in League One, my favorite opponent, I love beating Chattanooga. It's a tough one.
Really?
Well, it's just like they're so. I don't think anyone really loves going to play in Chattanooga. Just beating Chattanooga anywhere, home or away, is good. And then Greenville, I would say. Yeah, especially now with League One the way it is, and Darren in charge and John. I know there's as much a rivalry between the clubs and the players and the coaches and the fans. So I think that's an all-inclusive one. You know what I mean?
And I've always felt like Greenville is. I mean, Chattanooga is, of course, like that nemesis.
They're just like annoying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Greenville is like that club where it's like I want to beat you, but I want to beat you on the way to beat you.
Yeah. That's why it was really annoying when we gave up the goal this year for the equalizer, and then last year we lost when we were down a man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things about football that could change. Say we hadn't lost that game, we would have not had to go to Tucson twice in a row. It just would have been totally different. So
I can see you feel all the frustration.
Yeah.
Man. And definitely, like, you played in a number of Henny derbies. How special were those games for you, man?
I think obviously we know that there's a big rivalry, there's good friendship within the fans.
Yeah.
They have amazing fans there, and I think that's where it comes from, right? It comes from the passion from the fans in Madison, the passion from the fans here in Richmond, and I think that one is more kind of for the fans than it is for the players.
Yeah.
Obviously, going to Madison's always difficult. They're loud, and then when they come here, we're loud. So I think maybe it's just like the battle of who's got the best atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think whoever wins that one, that's kind of what it is.
So definitely. So now we know definitely for fans, it's Greenville that the ones you guys are like, all right, this is the one.
Well, it's just that for Greenville, like, I don't want to say they're the
There's a lot of
because it's not
familiarity,
that,
though.
but it's like they're going to find a way to get the results throughout the year, that they're going to end up 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just like if you can get that win over them, then you can jump them, and it's just like
No, I definitely feel it though, because like in a lot of games this year, they're like every time we played it was 1 versus 2.
Yeah.
Every time we played it this year, and then it was like finally just sneaky goal to get past it.
Yeah.
It definitely like even the last game that where we had the whole celebration.
Right.
They found a goal to stay up in number 2. It was
I know. It's so
it's like,
would have changed a lot in the playoffs as well, I think, as well. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, I'll have it. So talking about this year, man, for you, obviously, some of the frustrations that went into the injury, not getting selected. What kind of lessons are you taking from this year that you're like, all right, this is something that I'm glad that I went through, that while you were going there, you were like, dude, this sucks.
Well, luckily for me, I love my job.
Yeah.
So even though I wasn't in the 11 or even in the 18 for long periods of time, I think just showing up and being able to do what I love helped me get through. Obviously, I've talked to Darren about compartmentalizing, so once I step over the white line, be ready to train, don't worry about anything else. It's not about anything but football at that point. And one of the lessons is probably just stay professional, do what I do. I'm experienced, I'm a veteran, so I think just staying locked in and focused. Obviously, it's really frustrating when we're on a tear of wins, through June, and then we're pushing to the top of the table and winning the league when you're not putting a hit on. It sucks. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. But, it's not like I didn't learn things from that. It's not like I didn't have experiences this year that I can take forward and help me in my career, wherever that is. So, I definitely don't regret or like hate what happened this year at all. Not at all.
No, I'm definitely feeling that, man. I guess I want to ask you this, man. You hit 100 caps this year.
Yes.
What did it mean for you, for the fans, to recognize that and give you a trophy and letting you know, like, yo, we thank you for playing 100 games for us, even in the crappy years?
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, man. Like I said, I grew up for you guys. You know what I mean? I love playing at City Stadium. I love playing at City Stadium more than I love playing anywhere else on the planet, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing. Like, for the longest standing U.S. soccer club to have played 100 games for that team, and to have been here from the start of this, like, quote unquote new era of Richmond Patriots football. I think it's something that I'm proud of, and I'm happy that you guys are proud of it as well, and proud of me, because I mean, it's the people's sport, it's the people's game. So yeah, it's amazing.
No, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I think at the beginning of the year, I did the calculations, and I was like, hold on, like Cameron Matt about to hit 100 caps.
Yeah.
I got so excited where I was like,
Yeah.
Matt's about to hit 100.
Yeah.
I was so happy for you, man, because like you definitely put in the work rate, and definitely like over the course of time, definitely at this level of U.S. soccer, you have a lot of guys. There's a lot of quick turnover. A lot of guys on 1 year deals here, whatnot. For you to stick around for 5 years at one club really shows not only one, your passion for the game, but also like you really have to love what you do at this level in American soccer. Because, like you said before, like no contract is guaranteed. It's definitely hard to do. So, I'm always going to hold that memory with me about you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Another fan question they want to ask you, man, is what is your favorite drill in training?
Wow. Definitely not Gigo's warm-ups. I don't know if Gigo's probably ever going to watch it, but definitely not Gigo's warm-ups. I'm not alone in that either. But I think 3v2 Red Bull before the game day. We always do a 3v2 with Darren. Yeah, it's got to be Red Bull.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 3v2 to goal. It's kind of a transition game. So, yeah.
So, in the part time, a lot of fans don't know this, but you're also a coach.
Yeah.
How is coaching for you?
I love coaching. It's hard to love anything, and this is what every coach tells you, and every retired player tells you. It's impossible to love anything and appreciate anything as much as playing. But coaching is, for me, the next best thing. I love coaching the young kids, 8, 9, 10 years old. So I feel like I can really mold them and teach them things that will help them progress in their game. And yeah, it's just about finding another passion that's anything near playing. But I really love coaching. I love sharing wisdom. I love seeing when the kids get excited about something or anything like that. I love seeing their team camaraderie. It's like I already went through that in life. It's just kind of it's living vicariously through them again. And kids always give you good energy, so it's like, why wouldn't you want to spend time around
That's
kids?
true. They do give you good energy.
Yeah.
How will Matt Bolduc, the coach, deal with Matt Bolduc, the player?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of kids that remind me of myself, and I'm usually, every coach plays favorites. So I think if I see a player I see potential in, or I see a player that struggles with things like I struggled with, I think I have a lot to give them. So I try to help every kid as much as possible. So if they're like me, then they're like me. If they're not, they're not. But I try to help everyone as much as possible.
So I guess this is the question that everyone is kind of waiting for, man.
Yeah.
What's next with Matt Bolduc? What's the next step? Are you going to play again? Are you looking for another club? Or are you hanging up the boots? What's next?
I'm not hanging up the boots. That's
Okay.
impossible for me. I can't do that. There was a time in this past year where I did think about it. And like, it's hard to say that. It's like, I actually don't really like that I did think about it. I think that's like not me at all.
How difficult is that for you having that realization of like, this might be it?
Well, it's a dark place, man. Like, everyone gets in a dark place. Like, some people, struggle with things mentally, and I think I was going through a patch of time where I really struggled with it, and I was like, maybe I can do something else. Maybe, the stress of not playing and the stress of being under pressure to play well. If I do get the chance, I think maybe, it was just getting to here, but I flipped the switch, found my love for the grind again, my passion for the process, and that's what it's impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Are you looking to stay at this level? Or are you looking where are you looking? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, of course. I have connections in a few places. I'm not going to say anything on air because I don't about anyone else. I don't know.
No, we understand that.
But I have connections. I've been playing for a while. I know a lot of people. I don't have an agent. I've never had an agent, so I like to just do it myself, see what I can do. If nothing comes from me reaching out, I'll go on trial. I'm not against that. Like, I know my ability. I'm confident in myself. And then obviously, I don't know how real any of this is, but you know, Darren and I do have a good relationship, I've played for the club for a long time, so if there was a way for us to work something out, then obviously I'd love that as well. So it's kind of all just
like you said, this is a whole new experience, man. We wish you nothing but the absolute best going forward, whether that's coming back to play for us at a later date, which I'm rooting for, or going somewhere new and going to the away locker room. I want to ask you this. How have you thought about that? Like, what would it be like for you to come back as an opponent in City Stadium? Like, how weird is that going to be for you?
I would love to play for the other team, you know, like against the Kickers, but I'd love to come back and play at City Stadium. Like I said, I love City Stadium. I feel like I was playing home game. I mean, I think everyone thinks about what that would be like. You know, when you get to a point like where I'm at, I think everyone thinks about what it would be like to play against your old teammates, old coaches, old fans. I don't know.
I understand that. Anything you would like to say to the fans before we wrap up, dude?
I love you guys. I love every single one of you guys. It's been an amazing from 2017 to now. It's been amazing. I mean, just don't take things for granted, anyone. I didn't really take it for granted, but I think, you know, you get in a zone of where, like, you're doing what you love, and you do it every day, and it feels like, you know, it's never going to end. But there is an expiration date for everything, whether it's the career in total or your time in a certain job in a certain place. And here we are. But I love you guys. Go to Richmond, Kickers for life. I don't care if I'm playing for any team. I'm still going to be supporting you guys, watching the games until I'm on the other side.
Well, as always, man, it's a pleasure doing this with you, man. And listeners, if you like this kind of content, you can follow us on rivercity93.com. We will holler at you guys next time.